In this video, I'm going to try and introduce myself to you as a new creator on this channel. Hi everybody, I'm AuntyDaren. I am an absolute massive geek, and I mean massive. So the things that you're going to get from me are things like Doctor Who, Torchwood, Star Wars, Harry Potter, Star Trek, the DC Universe, Marvel's comic universe, and everything in between, because that's what we do. Well, that's what I do. Anyway, a little bit about me. I'm a 52-year-old disabled carer. So this is my bread and butter. This is my life. This is what I do. Yeah, I'm very much, if you see, an animal lover. There's my baby. Yeah. And I have a lovely, beautiful pussycat who's hiding down. The animals will star in the videos sometimes when they can be bothered. They're lazy. Anyway, I'm going to start off by really going off on one. And I know that's not the way that you should start your new YouTube career, but there's something that's been niggling at me, and it's really about people online discussing films, movies, all films, movies, television shows, books, the lot. Now, I understand that sometimes a film, a movie, a television show is just bad. But for example, best example I can give is Doctor Who and the latest series I, 2 series plus the specials of Doctor Who. Everybody before he came back was slagging off Chris Chibnall and praising the mighty Russell T Davies. In my opinion, Russell T Davies is one of the greatest writers in British TV history. Not only did he revive Doctor Who in 2015, 2005, but of the other things he's done, Queer as Folk, It's a Sin, Cucumber, there's a new drama coming out next year. You know, they are absolute peak television, and he manages to hit exactly what people are thinking about. Now, I'm hearing people turn around and say that, oh, it's gone all woke. Well, let me tell you, it's always been woke. I'm sorry. Go right back to the first Doctor, who now no longer is the first Doctor, but go right back to William Hartnell's first Doctor. The idea of it is, first of all, it's a children's programme. It's a children's educational programme. And just because the children have grown up, the programme hasn't necessarily grown up with them. Now, the reason why there are so many people anti-RTD is because they're trying to think of the golden age, and he's tried to do something very, very different with Ncuti's era. Ncuti, being a queer icon, wanted to play on that and wanted to work on the sexuality, not sexuality in that way, but on the sexuality of the way the Doctor can be, because the Doctor can be whatever you want him to be. Male, female, cat, dog, whatever. They can regenerate into anything. And the thing I'm seeing and the thing I'm hearing about is people saying, you know, Russell T Davies has ruined Doctor Who. The man who bought it back ruined it. Really? I don't think so. Let's just say the problem with the last 2 seasons was they were just too short. Previously, you got 13 episodes plus a Christmas special. This time round, we've got 6 episodes plus a Christmas special, which makes it 7. And that's one of those things that this show's never going to work on, because unfortunately, Ncuti in the first season was still finishing his film. was still finishing filming Sex Education, which was where he found his, where he found his audience. And yes, of course, he's got to be able to finish his contract. There's a contract with Sex Education, there was a contract with the Barbie movie, all sorts of things like that. So, out of those 6 episodes, 2 episodes were basically Dr. Light episodes. Then, about halfway through the season, the British press and idiots online started going on about Millie Gibson and how she was a diva and a nasty person. Well, first of all, Millie Gibson's from Manchester. Secondly, Millie Gibson came up and her first acting role was in Coronation Street. If she had been that sort of an actress and working on Coronation Street, it would have been knocked out of her very, very quickly. And I mean really knocked out of her, excuse me. So yeah, we've been knocked out of her exceptionally quickly. So first of all, I don't believe anything like that. There were some questionable episodes, in my opinion. Well, in the first series, one questionable episode, but it made sense by the end of the second series. And that first questionable episode was Space Babies. At the time, it wasn't my sort of thing, talking babies, but you go with the process. From Space Babies, we go right the way through and have some absolutely cracking, and I mean brilliant episodes, which, come on, something that's slightly thrilling, sort of a Welsh folk tale, 73 Yards, one by Stephen Moffat, the former showrunner, called Boom. Fabulous. The one that introduced The Loss of Singing, The Devil's Chord, and introduced Maestro. Fabulous. Dot and Bubble, a hard watch, but still a solid 8.5 out of 10. And the end part, when you actually physically got to see Shooty in person, showed his acting. And when you find out that that was his first ever scene with Doctor Who, you think to yourself, you're made for this. Then you get Rogue in the sort of Bridgerton-esque style, done by Kate Herron and her writing partner, who worked on Loki, and she was runner for season 1. Head writer and producer for season 1 of Loki, which was a fabulous series from Disney Plus. I can't think now. I should really script these things, but I can't read an auto cue. It's weird and you really don't understand. Then you go into the story of Ruby Sunday, and then on to the finale, which introduced Sutek. That was a solid series. Okay, it didn't really stick the landing because the Sutek reveal was a bit too CGI CGI heavy. And if you go back to the 1970s version of it, you notice that because the special effects weren't as good, that Sutek was just a man with a mask instead of this great big CGI dog. But I can understand why they did it. It's Disney money, isn't it? Now let's go to the Christmas special, Joy to the World. My God, did this one get hated on. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I thought the ending, spoilers, I thought the ending was fabulous. Especially connecting it to the first Christmas in Bethlehem, year 1. What a fabulous thing to do. Then we had to wait a few weeks. We came into season 2. Season 2 was the usual opener. We have introduction to the new companion, Introduction again to the Doctor. The new companion gets to know the Doctor, blah, 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 blah. Then we have solid bangers of episodes, one after the other after the other. Absolutely brilliant. Until, and I understand where this has come from, until the last episode of Reality War. Well, actually, the 3-part finale. I enjoyed the Eurovision-y one, but the other two were a little too, what both me and my mum call, weird. They took thinking about, but once you think about them, they actually work. Anyway, this brings me back to my real point about this season. We saw at the end of Reality War and Wish World and Reality War, we saw Ncuti regenerate. Now let's put a pin in that, because I don't think he's gone. Let me tell you why. Look at the regeneration. In fact, I'm going to go and I'm going to play the regeneration just up here. First of all, he fires his regeneration energy into the console. The console then appears to open, revealing the heart of the TARDIS. And then Ncuti disappears, and Billie Piper turns up as the Bad Wolf. So I think the 2026 Christmas special is going to be the Bad Wolf trying to find the Doctor. And then it's going to connect all back to the way the finale was supposed to go, because BBC contracts are so complicated that because of the up and down with the Disney deal, they didn't quite know how they were going to give Ncuti the time that he needed to complete other projects. He's a young up-and-coming actor, he's brilliant, so he's going to need time. So let's do a regeneration. Let's let everybody think that you've gone. When you do the TV rounds, we'll play it around like that. But what everybody needs to, and all you Doctor Who doubters and all you Doctor Who enthusiasts need to look back on, there has never been an official announcement from Doctor Who or the BBC to say that Ncuti has left the part and they're in search of a new Doctor. This always happens. And before you say it, yes, there was a BBC news story that said, Ncuti Gatworth's surprise regeneration. But that was a BBC news story and not an announcement. Neither Bad Wolf, BBC, Doctor Who News, Doctor Who, the Doctor Who magazine, or any of them have made an official announcement to say he's gone. So I personally think he's not gone. And he's been putting out spoilers and all of that, saying that, yeah, he's getting old now at 30. I'm 53. If I was offered the chance, I probably couldn't take it because I'm not energetic enough. If I was offered the chance, then yeah, I'd be all over it. So let me know what you think in the comments. And this is the sort of content you're going to get on this channel from now on. So please, if you're into your TV, films or whatever, thank you. Stick with me, it'll be fun. If you're not, stick with me anyway. Give me a chance to get my head around the channel and get my head around what you lot want, because that's what's important to me. And I shall see you all in the next video.